to us. The best feeling in the world is to be coaching someone or training someone and see the light bulbs go off and see them progress and get better and better at what they do.
We want to hear from everyone, not everyone, because that would be a lot. We want to hear from people what your takeaways were. So Todd's going to come to a table. He may come to a table randomly, or if you have any thoughts, what was your key insight? What would you do differently, or what was an aha for you?
My name's Marissa, and we thought we would ask the person if they were actually aware that they were late.
Okay, so something as simple as they're late, but they may not even realize they're late all the time, right? So, all right, so awareness. So
basically, we do this a lot, and I think that one of the things that I've learned here today is about training and coaching, as well as just having the employee come into the office and you ask them why you're late. I think it's a lot of it is the training and the coaching piece, right. That maybe they can get better, and with motivating might help their performance or their reliability.
Right, and whether it's coming in late or it's something else, yeah, we get frustrated that and earlier we heard about this when we spoke about emotional intelligence that we get frustrated, but we don't have an open conversation about what happened, why, and why it's important, right? Because we're too emotional about it, and it's frustrating sometimes. So, yeah, how can we turn it into a coaching opportunity and a speaking opportunity? One key insight. No, there's no pass the mic game.
Yeah, don't be shy. We're all friends here. We've been here the whole day together.
Please.
Oh, it doesn't really pertain to the pyramid, but maybe flip it on them and have everyone else show up late to the meeting, where they show up there 15 minutes late, have everyone else show up a little later so they see how it feels to be waiting around.
Turn the table.
Turn the table.
Right? Yeah, maybe. With every decision we make as leaders, there's an upside and a downside. If people really don't get it, maybe we have to go to an extreme and do something like that. The caution, and we have to think about both sides. What's the possible negative outcome that might happen from that?
That becomes the standard.
What's that?
They might think that it's okay, and that becomes
right. They're like, oh, cool, I'm in sync now. I can show up, everyone's with me. Yeah, there's potential for that. And also, it could come to a feeling of retaliation, right? And kind of like, now I'm getting payback. And what you really want to do is avoid conflict, right? And I think a lot of the challenges of leadership and what we often don't do is we don't have the difficult conversation, right? And so if we haven't had the conversation yet, then we need to have the conversation, right? It's hard to discipline someone we don't want to discipline someone actually until that's the last resort and we've exhausted all other opportunities. But because they might not know, and if they don't know and they're getting punished, we just have to be cautious because we lose someone on our team if we head in that direction.
Don't you want to talk about the brain chemistry thing of writing?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So when you watch someone else draw, and this goes back to the cycle of self-development and learning a new skill. When you watch someone do something and you want to learn this new skill, you actually envision yourself doing it, right? So you're watching someone throw a ball and you're seeing yourself with the mechanics of throwing that ball. It all comes back, there was this experiment that was done with a monkey, right? A monkey's eating a peanut, he's loving it. I've heard different versions of it, so this may not be completely, but the idea is definitely right. Monkey's eating a peanut. Certain area of the brain is firing, pleasure center, right? Peanut, good, right? It's firing in the brain. The monkey's sitting there watching, and I've heard two different ones, another monkey eat, and I've also heard it with a person, one of the people observing. But another monkey eats a peanut, right? And in the first monkey's brain, that same area fires in his brain, even though he's not actually eating. So it's called mirror neurons. We actually experience and feel what's happening with someone else. So, the light bulb just went off. So, if for sports fans, you ever see a football game and someone gets hit? What happens when someone gets hit? Oh, right? You feel it. And that's your mirror neurons firing as if it was happening to you. So when you learn something, someone's teaching you how to throw a ball, you imagine yourself throwing the ball. So if we're drawing out a model and you're following it, or you're doing something, as Todd said, that's kinesthetic and you're actually active in doing that, recall is much, 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 much higher. So that's why we take people through the process. We could easily just show it, flip it, have a ton of bullet points, but it's the process of doing it that helps us internalize it and remember it more. And I'm going to ask you to get to know each other. The only thing I'm going to ask is that you don't use any words, okay? So you can't write any words, you can't say any words. So have a conversation, get to know one another. You've got your pen, you've got your pad, and we'll take 5 minutes just to discover and connect and get to meet someone. So grab your stuff, stand up, connect with someone else, have a conversation. We'll know that this is working properly when there's silence in the room. So get together, say hi, and go.
And it was just a different way of thinking. In a way, you almost had to think in pictures instead of words.
Right. So thinking differently in that way, what did that do?
You know, it almost brought me into like the world of metaphors.
So we have a 5-minute rule. Within 5 minutes of every workshop we do something engaging, something where people are involved. So they're not listening to us speak for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. They're jumping right in and getting involved, getting their hands dirty. And again, that's how people learn.
One of the reasons companies, I think, like to work with us is we build connection, we build trust, we build relationships, and we really become part of their organization and part of what helps that organization move forward into the future.